Hello beautiful people, welcome back to 12 Dimensions. So in my last video we have discussed about the little bit history on the Indian marriage system, like about the sati system, the Hindu widows remarriage act, and also we have discussed about the child marriage act of 2006. Okay, today we shall discuss about something more serious, like why a child happened to nurture the idea of getting married, and what can be the reason behind for a child to yield such a thought, and what kind of psychological or emotional trauma that he or she is dealing at this point. Okay, there is thousands of reasons behind this, and I'm wondering, like, there is a whole spectrum of emotions and motivations that he is building up at that point. And today I'm just gonna share my opinion, like why he or she is taking such decision, and I would really love to know from your end as well on the comment section below. And yes, besides that, we shall also talk about the recent crackdown on child marriage, and also we shall talk about the advantage and disadvantage of this crackdown, and also we shall talk a little bit about the Pocso Act and how are these people getting arrested under the Pocso Act. So if you haven't watched my previous video on the child marriage thing, I will share a link in the description below. You can go and check out. Okay, before we move ahead with this video, I just want to share an experience that I had when I was teaching in one of the high school back then, 2-3 years back. So there was a kid in the 10th standard who happened to get married, and the good thing was, yeah, we were able to get that kid into the mainstream education, and today that kid is having a good higher studies, which is a very good news for us. I'm sharing this story because we usually happen to see these kinds of incidents in the village area. And last time what happened is, like, when we tried to complain about this child marriage in one of the family members they had, so the thing we got was the feedback we got was they threatened us, like, to never come back and don't bother us, like. So this is a very sad thing for that child. The life, the future of that kid is almost like destroyed. So today we must help them to understand this society, like the child is the future of this nation, the child is the future of the family, and if we are destroying their future right now, then what can be the consequences of this nation, what can be the consequences of that family, and most importantly, what can be the consequence of that child's future. Just imagine a child getting married at the age of 14, and she or he has to live with that partner for the rest of her life, for the next 40-50 years. And if there is a very least percentage of that partners having a successful career, a very least percentage, and this has to stop right now, or else it will never stop. Okay, the first point I like to point out here is insecurity. So there are so many insecurities a teenager might face between the 13 to 19 year of age, and that is also on a daily basis, and this is one of the most awkward growth stages of their life. Right now I want to break it down bit by bit and try to understand, like, what are the insecurities they are facing which is leading them to the child marriages. Okay, the first place where the child might feel insecure is at the home itself. Suppose if there is a lot of domestic violence, or if there are drunk parents, or if divorced parents, because divorced parents compromise the self-image of the child, and he or she might want to distance himself or herself from that place or from that society, because there will be many people who will be pointing fingers at that kid, characterizing her behavior, characterizing his or her parents behaviors. The child might feel very insecure or not safe to stay with that family. So at that point, he or she might want to escape from that dimension and live a better life. Okay, the next insecurity that a child might face is financial insecurities in the family. So teenagers at this age live with lots of fantasy, and they want to escape this poverty and live a better and the most glamorous and in the most luxurious way. So this might lead to think of getting married. Okay, the next insecurity is the food insecurity, and eating disorders are psychosomatic, and they starts with the adolescents having poor self-image, and they will try to change themselves by any means. So when a parent is unable to provide the necessary food required for their children, so that might lead to a lot of stress, and that child must lose its appetite and also sleepiness, which might lead to have serious health problems. So in this case, the child might try to escape from the families. So this can be also one of the reason, I believe. Okay, the next insecurity is about the health insecurity. So in this health security, I would like to include the health of that particular child or someone in the family members. So if their parents are unable to treat them in a proper manner, that kid might face lots of pain, because he might not be able to help or do anything for that particular person, or he or she might be the victim. So therefore that kid will try to escape into a different dimension. Okay, right now we are talking about the insecurities inside the family. So the last point here I want to say about the insecurity is from the sibling. So if the parents does not give enough attention to the child or to the teenagers at that period of time, so this might lead to a inferiority complex among the siblings, so which might lead to another child marriage thing. Okay, now moving out of the family, the next place where the child might feel insecure is at the school. So in the school there are lots of teachers, there are lots of friends who might make them feel insecure. For example, in the teenagers, peer pressure is one of the significant factor that drives a teenager to a bad influences, and they are the most vulnerable ones because no one listens to them or no one cares about them at that point. And adolescents at this period wants to be independent, and they does not want their parents to remind them about completing their assignment. So this is the period where the child's thought process changes from concrete to abstract thinking. So this might lead to a very poor academic choice, or this might lead them to a very poor career choice for their life. Therefore the parents or the teachers might deal them in a very proper manner at this period, because it's very crucial, because they are emotionally unstable and they have lots of questions that needs answers, and we need to deal them or tackle them in a very proper manner. Okay, now coming back from school, where is the next place that your child visit after the school? Yes, of course, it's your neighborhood. So here I want to point out, like, a good environment is very much necessary for the child's growth and development. So we should always try to protect the child from a bad influence or from a bad neighborhood. Here I would like to say that the neighborhood plays a very important role in the child's growth and development, because we don't want a parasitic neighborhood. We want a symbiotic neighborhood where we can grow and develop the society to a better future. Now if in the society or in the neighborhood we have a very bad influence such as drugs abuse and women abusers, then I don't think this will be a very safe environment for that child to live there. Okay, now let's discuss the other factors that are responsible for this child marriage. Okay, the first factors I would like to point out here, besides these family insecurities and these financial insecurities, is the caste and the religion problem in our society. So if the two partners are from different castes or different religions, so there is a very least chance of acceptance of that relationship by the parents. So this might lead to a depression, which might lead to a lot of psychological problem. So this is one of the main reasons I believe many childs elope or get married, because they are afraid, that they won't be getting another chance to be together among themselves. Okay, not the last but the most important factor that leads to this child marriage thing is due to unplanned pregnancy. And study suggested that premarital sex and pregnancy emerges as one of the most dominant factors due for these child marriage things, and this is one of the main reasons that many parents want to give up their child as soon as they reach the puberty. There is a fear among the parents that whenever his or her child get pregnant, there will be no one to take care of that child. Therefore, this is one of the reasons behind this child marriage. And let me tell you, dear parents, that there are 1.3 billion people in this country, and there is obviously someone to take care of your child, or there is obviously someone who will accept your child. Therefore, I think we should stop this right now. Okay, there was a study conducted by an NGO called Child Rights and You, which states that 3 out of 5 child marriages were due to the fact because of the unwanted pregnancies. Okay, the other factors that are responsible for these child marriage things are due to lack of educational opportunities, due to issue of accessibility and affordability, and this leads to dropout of the students, and they are the most vulnerable ones. The other factors such as forced migration, and there is still some social norms practiced in different parts of the world, and we have also forced marriage, which are one of the few which is responsible for this child marriage thing. Okay, now coming back to this crackdown on this child marriage, let us discuss about the advantage and disadvantage of this crackdown. I will just put my opinion. I would really love to know your opinion in the comment section below. Okay, let's first discuss about the advantage of this crackdown. The first advantage I would like to share here is people are becoming quite aware of this child marriage thing. People are quite becoming aware of the law for this child marriage things. I can say that because recently I happened to see a post in the Facebook where the marriage card had printed this brides and grooms date of birth, and this is a very a really good, a sensible thing, because they did this for the reason that many people, those who went to attend the child marriage things, are arrested. Therefore, in order to prevent that, they are letting the public know that we are above 18 and 21, therefore you can attend our meeting. So this is a very good thing. So it is like a sort of a big promotion against the child marriage thing, which is a very thumbs up for everyone. Okay, the next advantage is those who want to participate in this kind of illegal things, from now on they will think twice, either the parents or the child. So it is a next positive sign for this crackdown. Okay, one of the big advantages of this crackdown is it will decrease the monthly mortality rate and the infant mortality rate, which is the key indicator for sustainable development goals under the United Nations. So in the last year report, the Human Development Index report, India ranks 132 out of 191 countries, which is a very sad thing for us. Therefore, if we can impose this law in a strict manner, I think we can prevent these child marriage things, and we should stop now, because for a country's development we need a better youth in the future. If this youth fails right at the door, then I think our nation too will fail. Therefore, we should try to stop this child marriage thing as soon as possible. Okay, I don't see much of a disadvantage of this crackdown, but yeah, it is still a bit concerning, because the many people arrested, they are the head of the families. They are the ones who is providing the food to the family. Now, if they happen to be in the jail, my question is who will take care of their families? And we have also learned to read some reports there are many suicide cases, and I believe those parents had like children. Now I'm really concerned and really worried about like who will look after this child and who will take responsibility of all these incidents. So these are the few disadvantages that I see. So if you have more, please let me know in the comment section below. Hey, do you know most of the arrests made under the child marriage crackdown are men and not women, because they have violated the Pocso Act. So what is this Pocso Act? This Pocso Act stands for Protection of Child from the Sexual Offense, and it was introduced in the year 2012 by the government of India. These men are charged under the Pocso Act because they have sexually assaulted the girl who was under the age of 18 years. And this is a very important act which every adult must know. So it describes about how a child can be physically or mentally or sexually or in any other way, either through a pornographic or any other way, that can be assaulted or humiliated. Therefore, we or everyone should know this act. Please do share so that people become aware of this act and stop this kind of harassment. I will share a link in the description below about this Pocso Act, which you can read the whole PDF. It's a 14-page PDF, so it will be, take a lot of time if I go on reading it out for you one by one. So if you really want to know about this act, please do read it and please share it. Okay, that's all for today. If you like my work, please do give a thumbs up. If you love my work, please do subscribe. Until then, see you soon. Take care. Tada.